Right golfers, I want to show you here behind why this Tiger Crunch drill, the drill we've seen Tiger do and him play this way for years, even though some experts would say his dip was too much. He actually, you see pictures of him online, actually practicing crunching this downswing. I'm going to show you what it means, show you what it can do for your game. I'm going to show you what it does to mine and what it does to my students if you can get it to coordinate. So I just want to hit two swings and I want to show you the difference in what it does to how I use the ground, what it does to my strike, those kind of ideas. One swing I'm going to do my normal swing, and the second swing I am going to do this Tiger Crunch. So first swing here I'm just going to do my normal swing, try and hit it kind of how I game it when I'm feeling just safe and normal and it hits target, feels fine, a little bit thin but decent. Now I'm going to crunch it. So the crunch action, if you've seen him practicing it online, there's been lots of videos published of this, is this start of the downswing action where you feel like you're really shortening the distance, say, between your tummy and your trail thigh. So if you think about me standing up, straightening here, this is now like 90 degrees. If you're 180 degrees, I'm now going to try and crunch that back down on the downswing. This is a common thing that we see from good golfers, so which other people have called his dip as he starts the downswing, which he practices. So let's do one with the dip now. A little bit left, pretty decent hit, much more up the face. Let's show you how they differ on my swing catalyst dual plates. So shot on the right here is the crunch, shot on the left here is my normal action. You're going to see me really going down on the one on the right. Also as well, look how these arrows, we'll come to these arrows in a second, look how they're jumping, spiking way higher than the one on the left. If we go to the front view, what we're going to see again is these arrows really spiking up higher when we get lead arm around the same position here. Red, green and blue arrows all spiking higher. The arrows is a visual representation of the forces I'm putting in the ground and the ground's kind of shoving back at me. This is energy I can use to hit the ball and improve my strike. What we notice if we move both into impact and just after, how much more, 162% in my lead foot or my vertical forces with both feet on the left hand image. The crunch one, I'm only 39% in those forces, and arguably you could move that one to be equal, would be more that frame where I'm only 126%, so 26% in my vertical force. So by crunching, pushing down, I was able then to push up, get out and get that energy onto the ball more successfully. So how can we get this to work for you? Because it's quite a pronounced movement and it's hard definitely to feel. So what you've really got to try to do is imagine that you have an angle here. So you are creating, if I was to put, say, my thumb just about above my belt and my finger down the middle of my kind of pocket here, that when I stand to the ball, that gets closer, the angle gets closer. And if I stand up, it stretches them out. So my fingers are going this way and this way. So this angle is being crunched. So I make a backswing, I might slightly stretch it out a bit more. Then on the downswing, what we're seeing from lots of good players is they are crunching to then as they rotate, that angle does start straightening up, believe it or not, because you're replacing this with lots of this, which is why straightening this angle isn't, as lots of people in the online sphere, APAD and really pad advice, and in the comments where people get lost, this isn't early extension. And I want to make that clear as I can, because when you're hitting the ball, you are actually starting to straighten this angle up. But the reason on a 2D camera it looks like you're still over is because of the side bend. You're replacing this crunch, which is actually straightening up as you hit the ball, with this and rotations. So even though I know it's hard to imagine, if you post yeah, but that's early extension in the comments, you have not watched the video. Let's use that as a little test, shall we? So what we're going to do is I'm going to try and make a backswing. And I'm going to feel that this angle has straightened out a little bit or a little bit bent. That's a different video which we'll do. But the big key on the downswing, and you can do this, thumb and first finger, I want you to feel like you crunch. So what will happen is your thumb and first finger, the middle part of it will come away from your body. So just do a couple of practice swings, lead hand only, just about above belt buckle, finger down into the middle of your pocket. Top of your backswing, definitely feel it extend a little bit. And then the downswing, really feel like you crunch that. And when you watch Tiger do this move, like he exaggerates it, like he really sits down on it because he wants to exaggerate the feeling of then getting out. Because what he's actually trying to do, which you should be doing in all your tip drills that you watch and ideas, anything that is given to you from me, anyone else that you watch, is you need to be able to try and exaggerate these ideas. So here we go. I'm going to try one. I'm going to go, try and feel that straightening, crunch a long way down, and then hit the ball. And what happens is my ability to jump, push out, get my energies out onto that ball by using this vertical force just transforms. Another way you can practice this at home, just take your medium iron, hold down the handle, take your address, and what I want you to do, just stand up straight. So my club is basically on my belt here, on my waist, and it's as parallel to the ground as I can imagine it from this position. Then I'm just going to take my posture, and I notice that the handle goes down, or the handle comes up, the head goes down. You see that? Because again, I'm crunching, I'm shortening the distance here. Then as I make my backswing, I'm going to turn hips, turn shoulders, tilt as well. And you can see this is getting quite level with the ground. So I've taken this out, I've stood up, this is straightened, but remember, I've replaced it with side bends. Now from there, once you've got it kind of somewhere level-ish to the ground, it won't be exactly level, it might still be tilted down subject to what you do. Again, that's another video. Downswing, you want to feel like you really now shove this down to the ground. So feel like you crunch, don't feel like you rotate it back to the ball. From here, feel like you tilt it down. See how I've tilted it back down? And then from there, start to rotate and up and through you come. If you want to improve strike, if you want to improve distance, you want to improve how you strike as in ball then turf rather than turf then ball, this is a great practice idea to get into your game. Now, I wouldn't advise doing this with a driver off the start. You will be using it with all clubs if you can get it to work, but use something that you're comfortable to hit, because you are going to hit some fats and fins. You're going to hit some funny ones because the timing of it will be hard. But remember, in the practice swing, you want to really crunch it down. So turn, crunch, jump. That's the order. So it's rotate, lead shoulder goes down. Remember, we're trying to get some shoulder tilt. Hips can tilt a little bit as well. Then from here, you want to increase this angle, belly to the ground, tummy button down. This will stop you just rotating back here, and then from there, up and out to hit the ball. It's going to feel counterintuitive. It's going to feel very odd if you don't do this naturally. But what happens when I get students doing this, and when we use the software, the gear software from JD Golf Academy, you can see amateurs just not doing this over and over and over again, where you see good players are doing this over and over and over again. So it's a common pattern that we see. When you get them working this into their shots, when you get through those dusts that they hit, oh man, they start hitting shots like, whoa, I have not hit one like that before. And we see the difference in how they use their forces and get that energy that they are applying, the speed and energy that they are applying, maxing out somewhere near the ball rather than wasting it earlier or later. Tiger Crunch helps him, it can help you if you want to improve your iron strikes even further. This video's got a lot more on how to deliver the loft to just get the most out of all your iron shots.